Hello everyone and welcome to this week's reading assembly. The Battle of the Books last week was between the Accidental Prime Minister and The Legend of Captain Crow's Teeth, and the winner was The Legend of Captain Crow's Teeth. So I have selected a passage from the book that I am going to read to you. Here we go. Every night Marty would wait until we were all half asleep, then begin his story. When a person is half asleep, he is liable to believe anything. "Did anyone hear that?" he asked. "I thought I heard someone outside the window." "I didn't hear anything," I said, even though I knew Marty was pulling our legs. "Baba," said HP, who was still doing the baby talk thing. Marty switched on his spy torch, shining it on HP. "Don't try that baby bit on me, HP." "Fair enough," said HP, who was no fool. "Maybe it was nothing," continued Marty, shining the light under his own chin, creating spooky shadows. "Or maybe it was Captain Crow looking for the boy who planted an axe in his forehead." "Marty," I said, "you're scaring the lads." "We want to be scared," objected Bert. "Yes, and don't leave anything out," added Donny. "Plenty of blood and guts, please." "You asked for it," said Marty, suddenly switching off the torch, plunging the tiny room into darkness blacker than tar. He paused for a moment, waiting until we were all good and nervous, then started the story. "Over 300 years ago," he began in a low, wobbly voice, "the sea around Dunkirk was terrorised by the dreadful pirate Captain Augustine Crow. Captain Crow was the cruelest, meanest and smelliest pirate ever to set foot on a deck. In our minds, Captain Crow looked a bit like Marty, with a beard. Crow and his band of pirates lured ships onto the rocks by putting out the lamp in the Dunkirk lighthouse and lighting another lamp further down the rocks. The ships steered to the starboard side of the pirate's lamp and straight into the reef where Crow and his men were waiting. They would loot the grounded ships, load everything into their boat, the Salome, and sail off to their hideout. Some nights, when the pickings were extremely rich, the pirates piled their treasure high on the rocks that come out of the sea at low tide. When the pirate's lamp hit those rocks, they would glimmer and twinkle in the night like the gold teeth in Crow's own head. Those rocks became known as Captain Crow's Teeth," I whispered. "Wee wee," said HP. Marty switched on the torch. "I'm warning you." HP dropped the baby talk. Can you hang on a minute while I go to the bathroom?" "1 minute, make it snappy." HP climbed down from the triple-decker bunks, running off to the caravan's tiny loo. I bet he stopped for a quick hug from Mum to keep him going through the rest of the story. "One stormy night," continued Marty, when HP was once again tucked into his sleeping bag, "the Salome dropped anchor off Dunkirk Point. Crow and 30 of his nastiest men came ashore in rowboats. They were in a mean mood and armed to the teeth with swords, knives and saws." "Saws?" asked Donny. This was new. "Yes, saws, to cut loose anything they found in the wreckage. Anything, or anyone." HP shuddered with fear and the entire bunk bed system shook. The pirates took the lighthouse without firing a shot, then lit their own signal lamp on another rock. So much buccaneer badness had seeped into that rock that today seagulls won't land on it, and anyone who sits on it gets a cold, evil feeling in their bum. I rubbed my own bum. It was true. I sat on that rock once for a dare and had numb bum for a week afterwards. Within the hour, a merchant ship, the Lady Jacqueline, came over the horizon and laid a course around Dunkirk Point, or so they thought. But the light they used for their bearings was the false pirate lamp, and so the pilot ran them aground on the cruel rocks of Dunkirk. It wasn't difficult to imagine, with the wind whispering outside our window and the sea battering the rocks not 2 minutes' walk away. Captain Augustine Crew and his mates boarded the wreck, howling and waving their swords, burning fuses smoking in their beards. They locked the passengers and crew into a cabin and stripped the hold of anything they could carry. Crow himself broke down the captain's door, for it was always in the captain's own strongbox that the great riches were kept. Inside he found, not the captain, but a cabin boy who had taken shelter in the cabin. Crow looked down at him with his black beady eyes and said,
Well, 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 what do we have here?
The boy didn't answer, but instead took his hand from behind his back. In it was a small kindling axe. Crow laughed a terrible, evil laugh.
Well, look here, me laddies. This here infant thinks he's going to take us all on.
While Crow made his joke, the cabin boy swung the little axe. Crow looked back just in time for the axe to sink into the crown of his head. As he fell to the ground, Crow said,
Now that's what I call a cabin boy.
Marty paused and nobody said a word. This was a good sign. If we had been bored, we would have bombarded Marty with stupid questions just to annoy him. For example, did the cabin boy ever have any pets? No questions meant that everyone was hooked. Crow was carried back to the ship by his mates and the surgeon, who was a butcher by trade, took one look at his wound. If we take this axe out, the captain's brain will fall out too, declared the surgeon. So they left it in. The ship's blacksmith ground it down until only a slither of metal remained. It gleamed on the captain's forehead like a half moon.